Hi, Todd Warren here in the Forecast Center with a look at our weather here for the next 10 days, taking us through next weekend. And you can see the sunshine and heat all across the Arklatex on this Thursday afternoon. Already 102 as of 2 o'clock this afternoon in Shreveport. 94 in Texarkana, and we'll probably see a small chance for a few pop-up thunderstorms as we go through the rest of the afternoon, but those should be few and far between. That will likely change here moving forward as we look at the overall weather pattern across the country. You can see that we do still have the big upper level ridge, which is eventually going to lose its grip, finally, on the weather pattern here across the Arklatex. A northwesterly flow is shaping up right now above us, and there is a boundary which is now situated just to our north. We likely will see some showers and maybe even a few thunderstorms develop near or north of the Arklatex late tonight. That activity will move south through the area at some point tomorrow. So let's take a look at one possibility as far as timing here with, actually before we do that, let's take a look at the Drought Monitor. And this is issued every Thursday. This is what came out last week. And I want to call your attention to the level 4 extreme drought, show you the latest here. And you can see the expansion of all these levels to the north for the most part, minus the level 5. So we now have level 4 extreme drought almost all the way to I-20 over the western half of the area. As we have seen some rain recently, but it hasn't been enough to put a dent in the drought. It has actually gotten worse. As you know, we get that half an inch of rain, but it's evaporated in a good day and a half or so. So again, we're going to need a lot more rain to help with the drought, and we do have a decent amount potentially on the way here in the next 10 days. Here's a look at Robin's story to Futurecast, and you can see that tonight. There's that chance for the shower or thunderstorm developing across the northern sections of the Arklatex late tonight. Now, Futurecast is very, very fast, I think, as far as the movement of this activity through the area during the day tomorrow. Other models don't bring it in until the latter half of the afternoon. So timing is the big question for tomorrow. Most of us will see some rain tomorrow. The big question is when. Tomorrow night, pretty good model agreement that we will see new showers and thunderstorms develop across the heart of the Arklatex, as you can see here. This will linger into Saturday morning, and then as we progress our way through Saturday afternoon, the rain will end and the clouds will begin to decrease from north to south. So most of the weekend we'll see some sunshine. It does look sunny, by the way, for Sunday and Monday, and then we'll see our next chance of rain by the middle part of next week. Rainfall potential. Might remember yesterday we had that swath of 1 to 2 inches over the south and eastern edges of the area. Now Futurecast has moved that eastern swath a little bit further to the west. You can see that here, right? The areas of green is where the model shows at least an inch. Not quite as much across the southern sections of the area, but keep in mind that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And keep in mind, too, that we have more rain on top of this on the way during next week. So let's talk about that. Here's, first of all, the ridge. This is the best news of the next 10 days, is that this ridge is finally going to break down and move to the south and west, weaken dramatically. Here comes our next disturbance moving into the area next Tuesday. The chance of rain could continue off and on through probably next Friday, maybe even next Saturday if one model is correct. So we are looking at more clouds. Again, off and on rain, and because of that, temperatures through much of next week will see highs in the 80s with some of the coolest temperatures in 3 months, possible, at least daytime temperatures, as we look ahead to maybe Thursday, as you'll see in the 10-day here in a second. Meantime, as far as 10-day rainfall potential, if you add up all the different models, blend them all together, this is what you come up with. You can see it's looking promising that most of the area will see a good 1.5 inches to maybe even 2 inches. A little bit lighter amounts over the south and the eastern sections of the area. But still, most of the area will see normal or above normal rainfall, which is good. If anything, it'll stall the development of the drought and may actually help just a little bit here during the next 10 days. In the tropics, we do have Hurricane Lee. Still expected to become a very strong storm. Max winds now at some point 155 miles per hour. You can see where it's going to be next Tuesday. Longer range models still show a curve to the north and it moving between Bermuda and the east coast of the U.S. But it's something we'll have to keep an eye on. It's still very doubtful that we'll see the system move into the Gulf of Mexico. So your forecast for tonight is looking partly cloudy. Late tonight, we will see a chance for some rain moving into the northern sections of the area. Lows will range from the low 70s north to the middle 70s over the southern half of the area. 75 in Natchitoches, 77 degrees in Shreveport, 72 degrees in Texarkana. Tomorrow, I expect another hot and humid day. High temperatures will greatly depend on when the rain arrives. We will see a good chance of rain pretty much area-wide. I think it is going to be later in the day, probably enough time to warm us up to 100 in Shreveport, 94 in Texarkana, 101 degrees for the daytime high tomorrow in Natchitoches. And your 10-day forecast shows that we get past tomorrow. That should be it for our triple-digit threat, so to speak, as we'll see low 90s this weekend. Mid-80s starting Tuesday. Look at Thursday, 83 for the daytime high. And then as the rain tapers off, we'll see a little bit of a warming trend as daytime temperatures warm back into the low 90s by the end of next weekend. Nighttime lows, most of the next 10 days will be in the 60s across the area. So no really cool air, but at least daytime highs will be much cooler thanks to the clouds and rain next week. So all in all, good news, good news. The extreme heat is going away, and we'll see more rain in the next 10 days with a good chance of rain tomorrow night, and Saturday, and a second decent chance as we go through the middle of next week.